Yeah. Meeting start again.
Good afternoon, everyone. A very warm welcome. Just let me know because I am facing some issues.
Yeah, we are able to hear you. Please proceed.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. A very warm welcome. First of all, I would like to thank you to the principal of JPS Academy, Mr. Mohan Singh, who has given this opportunity that we are here with our webinar process. Hello.
Haji, proceed, ma'am. Proceed.
Yeah. So, my name is Mrs. Mansi Atreja. I'm from Scotia Gateway. I wanted to little brief about our company. Scotia Gateway is a company who focuses on the education process for Canada exclusively by delivering a holistic view of the opportunities available in the Canadian education domain. And we'll be providing you all the accurate process procedures. So, all the students who are joined with us, I wanted to tell you that we are here to support you today. You all are 12th graders. आप ऐसी class में हैं, after which you will be starting your new life. You will be stepping forward toward your new life. So we all are here to help you out as a counseling for your career. This webinar will be helping you to opt for the right way or a pathway which you will be opting for the career process. So for this, I wanted to welcome our speaker, the CEO of our company, Mr. Martin. Sir, welcome, sir.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure.
And the second speaker of this webinar is Mr. Manmeet Singh, who's a business head of India. Welcome, Manmeet, sir.
Thank you, Vasu. Thank you.
And Mohan sir is also joining. Everybody's knowing us as the principal of the school. Thank you for joining us and thank you for giving this opportunity, Mohan sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
So without wasting the time, let's start I would like to hand over the things to the Mohan sir. We wanted to address something to the students. So I just hand it over to you.
Yeah, most respected Martin sir, Mr. Manmeet Singh, Mansi, my teachers, and dear boys and girls. Today in this webinar, we are going to have a very good interaction with the Scotia Gateway. Scotia Gateway is not a new organization for us. We are having a very good relationship with the Scotia Gateway in the recent past. And Scotia Gateway, is associated not only with the Indian student, but there are so many students who are in Canada and other countries that got associated with the Scotia Gateway. So today, boys and girls, you are going to have a very good interaction with Mr. Martin Singh directly from Ontario, Canada, and Mr. Manmeet Singh comes from Scotia. And we will definitely will learn a lot of things about the abroad studies and the various way and what are the various challenges that the students are facing nowadays. In the near future, we are expecting that Mr. Martin and Manmeet is going to visit us also in our academy. If you are going to have any query, we will definitely, not only in this webinar, you will get the chance to have a chat with them, but that on the later base also, we will provide you the phone and the link of Mr. Martin and Manmeet Singh so that you can interact with them. So over to Mansi, please proceed. Thank you so much. And on the behalf of the academy, it is my pleasure to welcome all of you. Thank you so much. Mansi ma'am. Mansi ma'am, Mr. Manmeet, whether you are able to hear.
I think she's experiencing some difficulty with the connection. So I will just I will just take on from here. We have our Delhi office representative, Mr. Harpreet Singh, and Miss Mahima Basim with us. So I will just ask our IT team to play on with the video first, and then we will hand it over to Mr. Martin Singh for the explanation of the entire process. Yeah.
Am I audible, sir, now?
Yeah, you are audible, Mansi. We are carrying forward. Harpreet, can you just play the video first?
Sir, I'm starting with the video.
Done, Mahima. Please go on. Thanks.
for New Delhi. And similarly, we have one located in Karnal because we have a very special relationship with our good friends in Karnal. In terms of personnel, you have myself as the Chief Executive Officer. We have Gurpreet Mungat, who's, you see General Counsel there. We would call it General Legal Counsel. And we have Manmeet Singh, who's our business head in India, but currently visiting us here in Canada. And Harpreet Singh, who's the manager of operations in Delhi, and Mansi Atreja, who's the business head and located in Haryana. And I just made the introduction for everybody, but here's all of our pictures in case you didn't know what we looked like. I'm not sure I have much more to say about that. It's a very old picture of me. I have a few more gray hairs in my beard now as a result, but God bless you for sticking an older picture of me up there. I love you guys. Excellent. Next slide, please. So the information that we're going to be covering today in the presentation will include basically, an overview of student visa to Canada. We're going to discuss both the SDS and the non-SDS category, which has had a slightly different name in the past. We're going to talk about postgraduate work permits. We're going to chat about what the options are after 12th grade, closely look at admissions requirements and also visa application requirements. And then we're going to make ourselves available for a Q&A session afterwards. And for the students, actually, because I think there are a few of them on here who travel with us, you'll know that I'm very open to taking questions and answers. When we had the trips, we would spend sometimes hours in the evening chatting about all the different options that students, all the different questions and options that students were looking into. And I'll certainly make myself available for that type of Q&A session today. Next slide, please. Okay, so what it is we have SDS and non-DS SDS category in Canada, and specifically the SDS stands for the Student Direct Stream, and as I had mentioned, it was known previously as the Students Partner Program, and it's open to various countries, including India and Brazil. And this is in contrast to non-SDS, which is a general visa application process for temporary residents for work, study, and immigration to Canada. So Canada's SDS stream helps fast track the processing of study permits for certain international students, and the visa success ratio is far higher. And you can, of course, understand why Canada would have such a program, given that there's about 150,000 students that we have come from India to Canada each and every year. So in order to qualify for the SDS Canada stream, you need to have an acceptance letter, that's an entrance acceptance letter, from a designated learning institution in Canada. And you need to have the medical exam confirmation document taken care of. You need to have your GIC of $10,000 Canadian. Basically, you get a receipt for that from your banking institution. You need to have proof that the tuition fees for the first year of study in Canada have been paid. And we need a requirement of an IELTS score showing at least 6 band in each category. And Manmeet Singh, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that's for college. And then for the university level, it's 6 band as well, but you need an overall average of 6.5 band. Is that correct? Oh, you turn your mic on, Manmeet Singh.
Yeah, sorry. For the SDS category, I would just like to add that to qualify as per the immigration, you only need 6 bands overall, not less than 6. But to qualify for application to university, they have a separate set of bands. They need 6.5 overall, not less than 6.
Correct. Next slide, please. So the next part that we're going to talk about is postgraduate work permits. And this is a very important aspect because as much as, I'm the academic expert here with Scotia Gateway, the pathway that you will travel to get immigration to Canada, which of course is the ultimate goal, involves getting the work permit basically as your second step. So the postgraduate work permit allows students who have graduated from a participating Canadian post-secondary institution to gain valuable work experience. And we might want to talk about what a participating Canadian post-secondary institution is. Here in Canada, the overwhelming majority of universities and also colleges are public institutions, and it's really through the public institutions that you must travel. If you get enrolled in a private institution, you're at serious risk of not qualifying for a work permit. It says here that the postgraduate work permit may be valid for anywhere between 8 months and up to 3 years. And the length of your permit will depend on the length of the study program that you have completed in Canada. And we're able to provide advice exactly on this. And we generally direct, unless there's some other reason, we generally direct our students to work towards qualifying for the 3-year work permit so that they have sufficient time to get their permanent residency. Another name for this program is also called, or the permit's also called the open work permit, because it allows you to work basically anywhere in Canada, and not simply in the province where you study. And the work is obtained through the postgraduate work permit and may help support your application to become a permanent resident in Canada. And indeed, I wouldn't say may help support your application, will most definitely help support your application to become a permanent resident in Canada. Next slide, please. So we have post-secondary student visa, and there are many options available to students after completing grade 12. Certainly there are 1 or 2 year certificate courses. There are 1, 2, or 3 year trade courses, 2 or 3 year diplomas, 3 or 4 year undergraduate university degrees. We have dual degree programs, and then there are also postgraduate diplomas and master degrees after graduation. And before we move on to the next slide, Manmeet Singh, did you want to provide any guidance to the students on any one of these items before we move ahead? Mike from Manmeet Singh.
Yeah, I would just like to add that after completing your 12th grade examination, you're open. I mean, you can go for a 1-year certificate course, but if you go for a 1-year certificate course, you only get a 1-year work permit. You can get a 2-year diploma program. You get a 3-year work permit. But if you're looking at the PR, chances of PR, and if you're looking at a career, it is always advisable to go for a bachelor's program. Now, a bachelor's program, which is a degree program, can be for 3 years, can be for 4 years, depending upon what exactly you select. And for the dual degree options, this is not for you guys because you're not in the college and PG diploma doesn't qualify as you. So we are open. We have 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year programs for you. You got to decide which one is best for you. Come on. So there's an example of the bachelor's program with major. So BBA in Canada is for 4 years. So I think if you can take over from there.
Yeah, and it's good that we profile this one, because this one, of course, has significant differences between what gets done in Canada and what gets done in India. If memory serves me correct, and if things haven't changed in the recent past, a BBA in India is a 3-year degree. And in addition to that, I don't think you need maths in 10+2 or grade 12 in order to qualify. Yeah. This is a very different thing in Canada. In Canada, your BBA program is automatically 4-year because they include a specialization. And then we have topics there that are covered in the specialization, including finance, accounting, legal studies. There are many. And what it is I can share with you is that depending on the specialization you take, you can be directed into different professional areas. So again, Manmeet Singh, correct me if I'm wrong, in India, if you're looking specifically at becoming an accountant and a chartered accountant, you would go the BCom route. Whereas here in Canada, you can go with the BBA and do the accounting specialization and then work to qualify for your chartered accountant designation. You just have to make sure that you have math available in order to make sure that that works. Manmeet Singh, did you want to jump in there with anything?
Yeah, for majority of the programs in Canada, you require maths. May it be medical, may it be management, may it be technical. So you require maths. So that is one thing which you need to make sure that you have maths if you want to apply for a direct admission into these programs. Now, the good thing about these programs is that they give you opportunity to get a BBA with a major. We call it a major here. You guys call it a specialization or an honors degree in India. Like we have BCom honors, BCom pass. So this is like a Bachelor of Business Administration with a major. So the entire fourth year is focused on the major. So if you're going through a finance program, so you graduate as a BBA with finance. So if you go with legal studies, so you graduate with BBA with legal studies, that opens your door for corporate sector in legal team. So this helps you a lot in deciding and shaping your career.
Next slide, please. So in terms of admission requirements, the IELTS for the university program, as we mentioned, is a 6.5 band average and no band less than 6. For the community college program, very similar, except that the overall band average is 6. And we want to make sure that in terms of your percentage of marks, the required percentage marks, not less than 65%. Math, it says it's mandatory for technical business science stream program. It's basically each and every single stream except for the Bachelor of Arts is really how you could look at that. CBSC board is absolutely preferred when we go for these applications. And we, obviously we need a copy of the passport, application fee for the embassy, and your academic credentials, which is also sometimes called a marks card or a transcript, is what we call it here in Canada. So beyond those academic requirements, for the visa application itself, we need an unconditional offer letter from the designated learning institution. And just to help you remember that, the designated learning institution will be the university or the community college that is recognized by the Canadian federal government. 1-year fee confirmation letter. I mentioned this earlier. This is where you've paid your first year's fees and have a receipt from the DLI confirming that that's the case. You have your GIC account set up, confirmation done with $10,000 Canadian put in there. And I should add that the GIC, when you do the deposit for the $10,000, it's for you guys, for the students to use upon your arrival in Canada. And so it's not as though that GIC money goes in and it's somehow held by the federal government or the university. It's available to you to help you pay rent and your utilities and whatever bills you may have. The medical has to be completed. IELTS transcript, obviously. SOP, which I think they still call in full form statement of purpose, very important. And we provide direct assistance in making sure that that's written properly, because many potential students get rejected as a result of their SOPs not being written as they should be. Obviously, all academic credentials. And then we have the actual application form, which includes family information, your visa and biometric fee confirmation receipt with the amounts there that are indicated, copy of your passport, and of course the digital photos that you need. Manmeet Singh, you may want to jump in there and provide any additional clearance. Clarification.
So as we said about the GIC, so the Canadian government says that a 1-year expense for a student living in Canada is $10,000. So they ask you to open up an account in Canada and deposit 10,000 amount into it. So once you land in Canada and you start your classes, you activate your account, you get 2,100 approximately in the very first month. And after that, you get around 650 per month for 10 to 12 months till the amount is exhausted for your living expenses. So apart from free, this GIC is exactly to help you out in your survival in Canada. So you're getting it back. with the SOPs, like we said, that SOPs makes a lot of difference in getting the decision either positive or negative. Uh, with the biometric fee, it's the visa fee application fee is $150 and the biometric fee is $85. For the students who went with us on the excursion tour, who already had their biometrics done, so they don't need to pay for the biometrics again. So that $85 will be exempted. So we need a copy of passport and the digital photo. So this is the visa requirement under the SDS category. So we only operate under SDS category. So we need all these documents before we apply the visa. At the moment, the visa application system is only and only online. We apply the visa online, and the turnaround time at the moment is around 3 months. You're getting the result back for the student visas in 3 months. Apart from this, the medical and the IELTS and the your admission process, we will help you out in all the phases once you decide that if you want to study abroad. You can go to the next slide, please.
So Manmeet Singh, I'll let you jump in here and provide the contact information, because you're more familiar with this than I am. They'll be interacting more with your office than they will be with me directly.
Yeah. So with the contact information, the first point of contact you guys have at your school is with the management. That is your principal, Mr. Mohan Singh sir. So you can directly contact them. They can get you in touch with the person who has been authorized by the school to serve as a bridge between you and us. That's our email ID and our website. That is only for reference. We also have our office in Karnal. So we can also get our people coming down to your school and address all your queries. Any questions you have, even after we finish with this webinar, we will still be more than happy to address that for you. I think I will pass on to Mohan Singh sir that we have gone through the slide quickly because we want most of the people to engage. I understand that most of your kids already have one or the other person from the family who's already studying abroad or settled abroad. So our kids, they have a nutshell idea about the process. And I really want to address to their queries, and especially when we have our CEO on board, Mr. Martin Singh. So that gives them an edge. Normally, students, I will tell you, to do a counseling session in India, in Delhi, in Gurgaon, there's a charge for it. So only because we have a special ties up with Mohan Singh sir, this session is absolutely free for you. You can ask as many questions you have, and you will get the authentic information which will help you decide your future course of action. You have multiple types of colleges, you have multiple types of representatives, agents sitting down in Haryana and Punjab. They might have different types of ads running up in your area or on the TVs or on the internet or the social media. Most of these ads are only for one purpose of getting you so attractive that you jump in and fall into their trap. With us, we are here to help you out to set up a career. Imagine you paying around 10 lakhs for a fee for 1 year. So 2 years you paid 20 lakhs as your tuition fee, which is your hard-earned money or your parents' hard-earned money. So we are here to help you out that not only you will reach Canada, after studying for those 2, 3, or 4 years, you will be able to take out the benefit out of that investment which your father, mother made while paying your tuition fee by getting you a good career in Canada. You also have the opportunity to settle down in Canada. You can also go back to India and settle down in India and have a good career as well. So the purpose of us being here, like I said, is to help you out. So any questions you have, be bold, be upfront. You are free to ask us any questions. Thank you, and I'll hand it over to Mohan Singh sir now. Mohan Singh sir, I'll hand it to you.
Thanks, Mr. Martin Manmeet Singh.
Yeah, thanks, sir.
The query that the student they used to ask from us directly, actually, the query based on the selection of the courses that they are going to have in Canada, particularly, because we are having 3 types of students: the non-medical, medical, and the commerce. Where the commerce is having a lot of opportunity in the business administration or BBA or the various other management based courses.
Yeah, hotel management as well.
Non-medical, because they are having the basically mathematics. So if you guide something on stream base, broadly, for the non-medical, they are having such type of choices. In commerce, they are having such type of choices. So please, Mr. Manmeet Singh, you please.
Yeah.
Broadly, on Broadway. Broadly.
Yeah. I'm just trying to pull up the academic page. Okay, Mahima, can you pull up the CBU academic page on the screen if that's available? I'll start with it. So I think Martin sir, if you can come in, the academic side is your expertise. That the students who are from a technical background, they have basically the science streams. We have two science streams. One is the bio, so they take physics, chemistry, and bio, and the other ones they have physics, chemistry, and maths. So what program we can align them?
Yes. So what it is that we have what we call pure science degrees. Like a person can go and study a biology degree directly, and that's fine and good. But if a student came to me, Manmeet Singh, and they asked me, about taking a biology degree directly, I would sit down and I would have a chat with that same student about what their career plan is. Because not just for an Indian student, but for a Canadian student who's taking, say, a straight biology degree, your ability to get a job placement in that field post-graduation may be a bit more challenging. And so what happens is that we tend to direct people to those degrees that will result in a good career. So for those folks that have the science-based, the more technical-based background and are looking for a university degree, often we will direct them towards the engineering technology type of program, of which the CBU has many. I think that they might be just a bit listed a bit further down, if I'm not mistaken, either that or they're inside the Bachelor of Arts in Science. They'd be a bit further down than that. But nonetheless, that's the type of direction that we're looking at there. Mohan Singh, like for your students who are less science and less math inclined, or even for those students who are looking for a bit of a different background, we have the Bachelor of Arts in Community Studies. And this is a really interesting program. It's actually the university's oldest degree program. It's been around for decades. And it provides the students with the opportunity not just to have a solid learning background, but to also understand how their job will be placed in the community. And what happens in that particular case is that they actually, through a co-op or other placements, get an opportunity to almost test run a career. So this would be a degree for those students who are looking at possibly going into the government service, going into policing. I can share with you that the police chief for the city of Sydney, where the university is located, not just this police chief, but this police chief and the prior two police chiefs all have this particular degree. And so it works very well in those cases. For those students who are more interested in a commerce or business type background, we have all the business degrees and the specializations as are listed there. Accounting, as I mentioned earlier, goes directly into becoming a chartered accountant and qualifying for that. For those students who are interested in going on and becoming a lawyer in Canada after they do their undergraduate degree, they can do the legal studies specialization, and there's a number of options there. For the person who's running the website, if we can just scroll down a bit, I'm interested in seeing what's more towards the bottom. If we could. No?
Maima, can you scroll down? Scroll down, Maima.
Yeah, so here's the engineering and technology options that I had mentioned previously. And so you can see that we have electronics and controls, there's environmental studies, manufacturing and petroleum-based options. The petroleum one might be a bit of a surprise for you folks in India, because I'm not sure you have quite as much of that going on, but here in Canada, particularly in the prairie provinces. We have a huge oil and gas industry that we service, and so these particular degrees are absolutely, it's university and academic based, but there's also a huge hands-on component, and they have significant laboratory facilities at the university to help you learn about these options. If we can scroll down again, please, because I'm interested in profiling a number of these other ones. So what you have here in the health and well-being area, and I can tell you these particular degrees, these are ones that a lot of Indian students generally don't look at. The Bachelor of Emergency Management is a newer degree program, absolutely fantastic. For those people that are interested in looking at having like a management type position within like firefighting or hospital or other type of locations. The next one that you see there, public health. The program, Cape Breton University does offer a diploma in public health, and many Indian students go into the diploma in public health because it's only 2 years long. Doing that 2-year diploma, it certainly satisfies, the government's view of what you need to do as a student to get a student visa. Unfortunately, the diploma alone is a bit of a dead end. What you're going to want to do if you're interested in public health is go for the degree program. And in fact, at the end of that program, you have the opportunity to write the Canadian federal government civil service exam for public health in order to be able to get a degree, rather a certification in that particular area, which will really help you get a fantastic job. Further down in that section, we have sports and physical activity leadership. I'm not even sure that you have that type of a degree anywhere in India. I haven't seen it in my view, but this is a degree for those people who want to become sports coaches, work with, say, physical fitness with youth and different programs such as that. It's a really solid and fantastic program that you quite honestly don't have available anywhere in India. If we can scroll down just a bit more, please. And so we have the sciences here, and they mentioned a number of different programs there. Again, biology, chemistry, mathematics. Mathematics is an interesting one. I don't know how it works for people in India, but if you have a solid mathematics degree from a university in Canada, you can get hired anywhere. People think that when they have a math degree that they have to become like mathematicians or a math teacher or something like that. I can tell you here in Canada, many of the various software companies will pick up mathematics graduates. The banks love having mathematics graduates. And if you do particularly well, the different hedge funds and investment funds will pick them up as well. It's like, if you're good at math, I absolutely would recommend doing a mathematics degree because you're pretty much guaranteed a job on graduation. It's a fantastic option. Mohan Singh, sir, I hope that covers
I will just quickly add on
what we're looking at.
Yeah, Mr. Manmeet, one more
quickly add on.
Is just sent to me. Suppose any non-medical student want to go for any technical like graduation degree, like for 4-year degree, might be in electronics or CSE or whatsoever. So do we have a way in which the student can get first 2-year diploma, then after taking BR, they can rejoin for the degree? Is there any pathway of such type of things?
Yeah, we have certain programs. They are known as this transfer program. So at CBU, you have 2 programs. So one is Bachelor of Engineering transfer program, that is for 2 years, and then you get transfer. And if you don't continue, you end up with a diploma. And then you have Bachelor of Technology. It is again, you have diploma and you have the bachelor's program. Similarly goes with other colleges as well. We have 2-year program, we have 3-year program, which is called advanced diploma. So 2-year is basically diploma, 3 years advanced diploma, 4 years the degree. So they have all the options: 2 years, 3 years, and 4 years. But okay, mind you, that will be not very helpful in getting the PR, because your points comes as per your education. So if you don't have a bachelor's degree, so your peer points sometimes they lack on the total app.
Mr. Manmeet Singh, for the medical student, like if any student want to join any dental or the nursing courses and they don't have the mathematics, then what is the pathway?
Wow.
So there is no pathway.
No, so there is one we have worked on, boss. There's one we have worked on. They need to go into an Associate of Science program first.
Oh, so yeah, they have to start it. Yeah, you can start a different degree and then switch over is what you can do.
Yeah,
there's no direct pathway.
There's no direct pathway. You cannot get a direct entry. You're right. So they can go for a 2-year Associate of Science program. Then they need to cover the maths calculus in that program, and then they can switch to the bio side.
In whole Canada, whether we are having any college or university which are giving any dental or nursing without mathematics?
No.
So I'm going to jump in here. The program for health sciences in Canada generally is very different than you have in India. In India, Mohan Singh, you have direct entry to dental. This does not exist in Canada. In order to get into a dental program in Canada, you must first have an undergraduate degree, meaning that you're doing a 3 or 4 year university degree prior to you even making the application. Same true of medical school. In order to get into pharmacy, you need to have at least 2 years of university study. Nursing is the only healthcare discipline where you can still do a direct entry, but you absolutely need mathematics at the grade 12 level. It's just the way the Canadian program runs. Now, I can share with you, Mohan Singh, once the students get into nursing, they don't use math at all. And so I don't really understand why they require it. And I speak on this with confidence because my daughter's in a nursing program currently right now in a Canadian university. And it's all about anatomy and physiology and the nursing history and the theory behind, patient care. And so the amount of math that they use is literally almost zero. But for whatever reason, the Canadian universities absolutely require mathematics for entry. And that also goes for Cape Breton University as well. They're no different in that regard.
Mr. Martin, for the 12th standard student, whether any pathway to enter in the law programs after +2?
So law programs are again, this is slightly different than the Indian and the British format where you can do direct entry into law. We don't have that in Canada. In Canada, there's an expectation that somebody will do an undergraduate degree of some type before they apply to law. It's interesting, though, Mohan Singh, with what happens in Canada, the law school doesn't care what degree you do. So you could do biology, you could do a BBA, you could do mathematics, you could do psychology, you could do basically whatever degree you want. And then what happens is that you have to sit for a national qualifying exam called the LSAT. So LSAT, and you can find information on the LSAT online. It's administered out of the United States, but all the prospective law students in Canada have to write this one. And then what happens is that you would do a law degree after your initial degree for a couple of years. So that's a bit more of a 2-step process. And if we had students that wanted to do that, what I would likely recommend is that they do something like a BBA with a co-op program so that they are able to earn their funds. And because for the secondary degree, because what happens is that you're going to want to actually take a break between those 2 degrees, meaning that you'll do, say, the BBA, graduate, and then go to work for a couple of years before going on to law. And Mohan Singh, the reason why you would do this is because in that time where you're taking a break and working under the qualification you have with your first degree, you will actually get your permanent residency. And once you have your permanent residency, you don't pay international fees anymore. You pay regular standard Canadian citizen fees. And it basically cuts your cost of going to university by almost more than half.
Dear boys and girls, is there any query from your side? Unmute and speak if any student.
Yeah, or you can use the hands up option, with Zoom. And I think we can drop this screen here too. We can go back to the main screen. There we are.
Yeah, and you also have an option for chat. If you want to type, you can also type your question in the chat box section.
There is, one query is regarding the scholarship. Is there any program like after +2 in any university or college that gives scholarship to the student, or what is the eligibility for the scholarship?
So scholarships are absolutely available. Scholarships are not necessarily tied to a particular degree, meaning that if you have a student with good marks that wanted to go into the arts, there's a possibility for scholarship there. Similarly, if you had a non-medical science student who wanted to study engineering technology degree and they had good marks, there'd be scholarships there. There are scholarships available in any of the degree programs, Mohan Singh. But what it is that the marks level must be very high in order to be eligible for those. And you might say, well, what's the exact number? It changes year to year. It's based on what the applications are. And so it varies.
In CBU, I think scholarship they are giving after first term or first semester or second semester based on the percentage of the student. In my knowledge,
it can be that. So what happens is, and this is true of all the programs too. You can have what they call entrance level scholarships, meaning that is a scholarship that you get prior to starting any of your studies. And then you can be available for what they call in-program scholarships or the in-degree scholarships, meaning that there's a scholarship available for those students after their second year or third year, as you mentioned.
One more thing, that is a student from commerce stream. He is asking that if I'm not having the mathematics, then what are the different programs that I can opt for after 12th standard? Commerce student, mathematics.
Yeah, so you basically have two options. Both of them start at the same beginning location. So if you want to continue down the commerce path, what would happen is that you would first enroll as an arts student in your first year, but you're allowed to take all of the business courses. So you would take all the business courses, and in one of your elective slots, elective slot meaning it's a course of your choice, you would upgrade your mathematics so that it would qualify you to go into the BBA degree. You don't lose any time, but you would start your first year as a BA student, and then you would shift over to become a BBA student in your second year. You don't lose any time, but you just have to make sure you're conscious about that course requirement that you have to take. Alternatively, you could go into the Bachelor of Arts of Community Studies program directly and stay as a Bachelor of Arts student. And there are a number of different options that exist within that degree program, including a co-op, actually, that might be appealing to someone with a commerce background.
So I will also jump into it. So we have a 2-year diploma program with certain colleges. It's a diploma in business general program. They don't require maths, so you can choose those programs, get your maths sorted out, and then you can go to the BBA. So that is the third option they have. So 2-year diploma program, which is known as diploma in general business. So you can go into that and can cover your maths at the pre-calculus in your first and second semester, and then you can gradually go into the BBA.
Yeah, thank you, Mamit Singh. I was speaking exclusively of the university degree options.
Yeah,
it's good that you jumped in with the diploma options. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Manmeet Singh, could you please give me one more query that is for the biotechnology courses? So is there any entry that directly from is the mathematics required over there? It required over there? So what is, you please tell something about the biotechnology courses.
So anything which says technology, you need maths.
Okay. And if
Literally
one is
anything.
having medical and the mathematics is the additional subject, that they can go for the technical courses in Canada after +2?
Yeah, because the entry requirement says that they need maths and 2 other science programs. So it can be bio and physics, it can be physics and chemistry, it can be chemistry and bio. So if you're going to the medical side, they need bio as mandatory, and physics and chemistry, they can have 1 subject. But if you're going on a technical side, they need 2 subjects.
And what is the prospect of biotechnology course in Canada?
Mr. Martin Singh?
Biotechnology.
It really like what happens with biotechnology here, Mohan Singh, is that we tend to subdivide it here in Canada, and so what will happen is that there will be folks that get moved off into biomedical, and then there will be and to be honest with you, like that's a very highly specialized program. We don't get many students going for that at all. What you see more is those students that are going into biotechnology at the environmental level. So these students are learning about how to do environmental remediation and that type of thing. So these types of opportunities exist here, and there are degree programs for that type of thing that we offer. But like hands-on biotechnology, you tend not to see quite as much here in Canada because it's a super specialized program. That'd be more maybe at the graduate level that you'd start seeing these things come together.
Yeah, and I would also like to add in this. So in biotechnology, we have this biotechnology programs in India, but in Canada, they require some sort of major with it. So a biotechnologist can be a food scientist. A biotechnologist can be to do something with the environment, something to do with the water. So you have to have a major attached to it so that you diversify that where exactly you want to land after your career too. So I think you need to unmute.
Yeah, we are having very good interaction in the various way on the various topics. In the coming way, a lot of queries going to be from the student side. Definitely, when we I think 1st of Feb, we are going to open in India for the 10th, 11th, and 12th standard student.
Yeah.
So it is going to be regular study in the academy now from 1st Feb. Government is allowing us. Okay, so we are going to, that's very good. And we will definitely have a chat one-on-one with the student. Yeah. And I will definitely.
There is one query in the chat box, sir, if I can answer that. That's from Josh.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, equipped with mathematics, bio, physics, and chemistry. I want to get admission into med school. So how I can get admission and what's about the entrance exam? So the boy has mathematics, biology, physics, and chemistry, and wants to go directly into the med school. Boss, if you can answer that.
So direct med school entry does not exist in Canada. What would happen is that you would do an undergraduate degree program. And I will share with you that the overwhelming majority of applicants would finish their undergraduate degree, and they would go on to a medical school. But what you're going to want to do is that you're going to want to investigate or work with us to help you investigate which medical school you would like to go to. So, for example, if you want to go to medical school at Dalhousie in Nova Scotia, they're going to have a certain number of requirements. The med school, say at McGill or the University of Toronto or the University of Ottawa or Western University, the requirements for all these different universities are slightly different. And so what you would want to do is that in that undergraduate degree, you would want to do as many courses that are common to allow you to apply to as many universities as possible. Another thing to keep in mind is that you're going to want to try to get your permanent residency as soon as you can after that first degree, because the medical schools in Canada have geographic location requirements, meaning that there are seats reserved. Say, for example, at Dalhousie University in Nova Scotia, they reserve the overwhelming majority of their seats for permanent residents and citizens from the 3 maritime provinces. Similarly, Memorial University in Newfoundland reserves the majority of their seats for people who are residing in the province of Newfoundland. And so it's a rather complicated process. Your question is a very good one. I'm not sure that I gave you all of the answer that you need today, but if it's something that you're looking at seriously and your marks are very good, I will add that in Canada, you need basically an A+ average in order to get into medical school, which means that you need, like, your marks have to be average 92 and 93 plus in your undergraduate degree. We can have that discussion. It's absolutely possible if you're a good enough student, but we have to make sure that we chart out the absolutely correct pathway for you.
Okay, so we have another question here. It says, "Sir, please discuss about the co-op programs and are they more beneficial than the regular ones?" As the question from Nisha. So I will reply to this answer. So the co-op programs, we have certain degree programs and diploma programs who offer co-op. So normally it is for 2 months or 4 months, depending upon the program and the requirement of the program. Yes, they do help you, because while studying, you also work under the co-op program and you gain the exposure to the industry and the experience too. For that reason, some of the students who do well in the co-op programs, they get retained by the institutions where they have completed their co-op. So yes, we do have co-op programs, and yes, they are beneficial.
If I can just add something into that, not only, like, everything that Manmeet Singh said is correct, but on top of that, the co-op is for credit, which is very important to realize. And in addition to that, while you're doing regular university study, the maximum number of hours that you're able to work in a week is 20 hours a week under the student visa. But once you shift to co-op, you can work as many hours in a week as the employer is willing to give you. And what will happen in a lot of cases is that you'll have a number of students who actually will jump into 2 jobs as opposed to 1. They'll have their regular co-op job and they will still keep another job on the side so that they're able to maximize their hours. And so it's a fantastic opportunity, as Manmeet Singh said, to get experience. Many of the students are retained by the employers with whom they are working, but also too, it's an opportunity to maximize your earning opportunity that doesn't normally exist inside of a degree program. I will share with you that Cape Breton University is particularly well suited for their Bachelor of Hospitality and Tourism Management, and they have many placements for this all across Canada. The Bachelor of Arts Community Studies is co-op accessible. The BBA is co-op accessible. Like, many of their programs are co-op accessible at the university.
Thank you. Yeah, that's all in the chat box, Monsing sir.
Okay, thank you so much. And I think we are going to be in touch with one another. And whatever the query that is going to be given by the student, we will share your number and the mail, and it is going to be better, because I think still we are having so many students who are having the mail of Mr. Martin even, and they can interact directly with Mr. Martin Singh and you people.
I've been getting WhatsApp messages even today, Monsing.
Exactly. Time to time, Mr. Joe's Japanese, they are in this webinar. They are also listening to us now. So they had a very good and interaction with you. So thank you so much, Mr. Manmeet, and you please close up with the things. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. And Mansi ma'am, you please close up the program.
Thank you so much, Mohan sir. I hope your students' queries, many of the questions which are coming in their mind, hope it is resolved now. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, Martin sir. You have taken out time. And
it is my pleasure.
Webinar. Thank you so much, Martin sir. And we hope, and thank you so much, Manmeet sir, even. Yeah. He is always with us.
And we have a short video for the students, and which we're not able to play in the start. So I will say that we'll play the video, and after the video completes, and we can have the rest. Then is that okay, Monsing sir?
Yeah, sure, sir. Sure. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Sure.
thank you so much, Martin sir. Thank you so much for being on board.
Thanks, Martin, sir.
Please start the video.
When looking to study outside of your home country, Canada should be at the top of your list of options. As one of the leading international student destinations in the world, there are many benefits to pursuing your education here. Canada is a safe and progressive society built on a foundation of multiculturalism and immigration. It offers some of the highest standard of living in the world and a beautiful environment that welcomes international students with open arms. Canada is known internationally for its excellent education system and world-class universities. Found all throughout the country, international students have the option to study in some of the greatest academic institutions in the world. When you choose to study in Canada, you have the option to work as a student to help finance your education. After graduation, students are eligible to remain in Canada and pursue employment anywhere in the country. This gives you access to Canada's thriving job market, helping you obtain work experience right out of school. After all, Canada is known to be a more affordable option for education compared to other English-speaking countries, with lower living and tuition costs for international students. One of the greatest benefits of studying in Canada is that you are eligible to bring your family with you during your studies. For those looking to immigrate afterward, the educational credentials you earn in Canada make you a great candidate for permanent residence. So what are you waiting for? Start the process of becoming a Canadian international student today by taking our free online assessment.
My name is Ajita Kaur, and in my college times I thought to go to abroad. Specifically, I want to go to Canada, and then they help me to choose the college as well as what good course I can get in my business field. Then I'm now pursuing international business there, and I'm going to Science College, which is in London, and that will. Thank you.
Sir, thank you so much for providing me this opportunity, and I would like to thank Scotia Gateway, the whole team, and especially Manmeet sir for providing me this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, my name is Ravneet Kaur.
My name is Arjit Singh.
We are brother and sisters. We got our offer letter from Georgian College, and we are so grateful and very happy that we came to Scotia Gateway for our procedure, that it went so smooth. And I would like to thank Scotia Gateway for it. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, first of all, a great thank you to Scotia Gateway. I started my process way back last year in March, but during that time, I was not very sure which college to choose and where to begin with. So, first I got in contact with Manmeet sir. He was very helpful. He guided me with proper direction. Where should I apply? Which college should I choose? So I still remember those days when I was very unsure, and he told me to go with Nova Scotia because it had great options in terms of studies. So he gave me the option for Skipton University. I chose that. Then I logged for the visa application. He supported me completely with that. But unfortunately, that was my hard luck, I would say. The time frame when I was applying during that time back and bounced with the proper SOP in the second term and all the documentation they have done, the support I received from Madam Manmeet sir. So everyone was there, and they made a great SOP and great filing in the second go. And successfully, I received my visa approval in October 9th.
That's great. Thank you everyone for joining me.
Mansi, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mohan sir. I hope every student liked that video, and that is going to boost you all for your bold stroke, which I am expecting that you will be discussing even with your principal, Mr. Mohan sir, even with Mansi ma'am. So we are always there to support you for your all queries. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohan sir. Thank you. If students face any issue or any kind of problem, sir, you can discuss anytime.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so
Sir, I
much.
would just highlight one thing. This complete webinar is even available online. You guys can see this thing on YouTube and Facebook as well on Scotia website. So you can even visit there. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Apit sir. Thank you, Mahima.
Thanks, guys. Thank you, Ayushi. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.